Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a controversial view of The Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a 1980 film that was controversial at the time of its release and is still controversial to this day. This here is my Columbia Pictures VHS release of the movie. There are multiple controversies surrounding this one. I'll start with Brooke Shields. She was only 15 years old when this movie was released, which means she was about 14 when it was filmed. Her character, Emmeline, appears naked throughout the movie. The Blue Lagoon remains one of the most controversial releases of the 20th century, partly due to this. Upon its release, Brooke Shields had to testify before the United States Congress. She had to confirm that body doubles were in fact used for any nude scenes. When her first body double broke her back, a second was employed. The second body double was also the dolphin trainer on set. Having the same body structure as Brooke Shields, she was asked to do the nude scenes, to which she agreed. In the scenes that did feature Brooke, her hair had to cover her breasts at all times. Often, it was even glued to her chest to avoid any accidental exposure. Ironically, had Brooke done her own nude scenes in The Blue Lagoon, it still wouldn't have been her most controversial film. Jason and I will be covering that one later on in this series. The younger actress who played Emmeline and the younger actor who played Richard, Christopher Atkins' character, were also naked in The Blue Lagoon. While we were watching this, Jason said this is a movie that couldn't be made today. And he's absolutely right. There is plenty of full frontal nudity from both characters as it is, but originally there was supposed to be even more. The director had intended for the two characters to be completely naked whenever on screen. Countless actresses auditioned and were considered for the role of Emmeline. Some of them, and some of the actors considered for the role of Richard, turned it down due to the extensive nudity. Ultimately, with Brooke Shields cast in the role, the script was changed to have the characters wearing cloth garments in certain scenes. And then her body doubles would take over for the nude ones. Christopher Atkins, though, being of age, did most of his own. The Blue Lagoon was definitely controversial for its time, and I think it would be considered even more controversial today. And the nudity isn't the only controversy either. The storyline of the movie itself is controversial. Emmeline and Richard are stranded on an island together as children. They grow into teenagers and begin having sexual feelings for each other. With no real knowledge or guidance, they act on these feelings. Actor Christopher Atkins was over 18 at the time, while Brooke Shields, as I already mentioned, was only around 14 years old. That makes their sex scenes controversial. And as if that weren't enough, the two characters, Emmeline and Richard, are cousins. There's yet another controversial part to the plot as well, but I don't want to spoil it, so let's leave it at that. There is plenty of controversy surrounding The Blue Lagoon, and rightfully so. It's unfortunate, however, because when people think of this movie, they think of controversy. It doesn't get much attention for anything else. It's a really good movie, though, despite all of the controversy. You feel like you're there with Emmeline and Richard. It's a lush, tropical location. And for us horror fans, there are even horror elements. The characters literally fear the boogeyman on the island. There's death and ritualistic sacrifice, and other dangers abound in The Blue Lagoon. If you can put the controversies aside, It's worth checking out. Of course, if not, Jason and I watched it so you don't have to. This is just my controversial view. Be sure to check out Jason's video as well to hear his thoughts. Have you seen The Blue Lagoon? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Which controversial movie will we view next? Check back soon to find out. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.